We do expect more depreciation in the third quarter of this year. One is a widely known seasonality. So dividend payment will be peaking in July and August. So during this period, the demand by domestic corporates who are listed offshore would be very high in terms of like FX demand, and therefore this is a period of negative seasonality. But at the same time, we're also aware that a lot of the effort to anchor the CNY previously was trying to avoid tariff imposition by US, Europe, and so on. But now with the election campaign either getting a bit messier in certain parts of these places, the focus might be slightly shifting away from China-related tariff, and that might also open up a window for China to be reducing the imbalance between supply and demand and let CNY depreciate a bit further. So we do see dollar CNY revisiting last year's high at about 735 in the onshore market and 738 in the offshore market.
Got it, Becky. In terms of some of the data on tap this week, what are your expectations with that inflation print? You just mentioned, some of the themes around trade right now, what we're likely to see, but we've also got credit data that's expected to drop as well. What's that likely to tell us about demand?
Demand will likely to stay fairly weak for an extended period of time in our view. There are a lot of hope on the third plenum that's going to introduce a lot of supply side policies, but in our view, that third plenum will very likely to remain focused on new productive forces, i.e. primarily still supply side policies. So China's inflation, in our view, is going to stay very low for an extended period of time. And for CPI inflation, we still expect it to stay right next to zero and PPI inflation to stay negative, likely throughout the entire 2024. For the other high-frequency data, including credit data, due to some technical reasons that will likely to stay weak. And therefore, for the second quarter, we are indeed looking for GDP to slightly decelerate from the previous quarter, with quarter-on-quarter growth probably dropping to around 1% from 1.6% in the previous quarter, and yet year-on-year reading to around 5%, also a small moderation.